Friends, well, I have returned from an expedition to the North Pole. It's like a flight to the moon or a dive into the Mariana Trench. This is an expedition that I personally will remember for the rest of my life. I am one of the few among 7 billion people who have actually been able to visit the North Pole.
And of course, I became the first cyberhuman to conquer the North Pole.
It was an incredible 10 days on one of the 6 nuclear icebreakers in the world. By the way, the nuclear fleet exists only in Russia, and that's a reason for pride. In the past, people spent their entire geek lives trying to conquer the North Pole. But thanks to nuclear energy, we can now do it in just 10 days. Yes, 10 days. The North Pole is the top of our planet. Like a cap but from which we fly into the boundless cosmos. But if you ask me what the North Pole means to me, I would tell you that it is a white desert of death. You sit on a nuclear icebreaker looking through the porthole at this beautiful white desert of death. You look death straight in the eyes, and yet you sit on a nuclear icebreaker of safety and think, no, you won't take me. Not this time. But in reality, when you step out onto the nuclear icebreaker, look at this abyss, at this endless, endless snow, at this beauty, and you think that you have only 4 ways you can die. Well, the first one. If you fall off the nuclear icebreaker into the Arctic Ocean, into water at a pre-freezing state of -2 degrees, when it wants to freeze but still can't, it's unlikely you'll swim out, because this water is like oil. It's as if boiling oil. But if you're so smart, you manage to take off your shoes and outer clothing, and somehow made it onto an ice floe. But most likely, you'll freeze. But you're smart, aren't you? You'll probably take off your clothes and start running, moving, jumping on this ice floe to warm up. And then you'll put your wet clothes back on. But you'll survive on this ice floe for a while. And then a polar bear will come and eat you. Because the bear finds your protein very useful to stay warm in these harsh conditions. Well, there's also the option that if you don't fall into the water, you'll just be crushed between 2 giant ice floes. But, you know, the chances of survival are quite slim. And you're sitting on a nuclear icebreaker looking at all this and thinking, wow, what a beauty. So, ahead are 10 days and 1,300 nautical miles. That's about 2,400 kilometers. And ice up to 3 meters thick. Right before the start, I felt an internal fear. I really didn't want to go on this expedition, the uncertainty. And at the same time, I really wanted to go, and in my head, there was adrenaline pumping, telling me, are you scared? Come on, go. When else will you have the chance to go on a trip worth $40,000? It's like being, I don't know, in purgatory. So I know where paradise is on the planet, and now I've seen purgatory, it's a planet. Now imagine if instead of a polar day, there would be, for example, half a year of polar night, -50 degrees, and beautiful white snow night, darkness. And damn, it's really like purgatory. And I returned from this purgatory, and now I will show you how beautiful it is. Hello everyone, well, my journey to the real North Pole to see the bears starts right now. I arrived at the airport waiting, now going through security and flying to Murmansk. Hello, Murmansk. We reached Murmansk and have already started getting to know everyone. People from different cities, all experts. There are 43 of us here. It seems that with my experience, I've already made 2 whole collaborations while the plane was flying. We were loaded onto a bus, we're going to take a PCR test. So, just like that, and I feel insignificant, as any journey begins with paperwork, and check out this impressive package on the right about health, and most importantly, the technical description of the equipment you plan to take with you. Since I'm a blogger, I packed cameras, microphones, and a bunch of chargers, and I had to describe all of it. I also described the electric toothbrush, what it's made of, what cord it charges with, and what type of USB it uses. Not to mention that I took cyber arms with me, and I needed to submit this kind of documentation for them. Sibilik, a magnificent room, look. So, I will spend the next 2 days here, I will sleep here, watch TV. Here I will work, my laptop, the suitcase that hasn't been unpacked yet. Bathroom. In short, I wanted to take a cool photo. I thought, yes, I'll check what time the sunset will be. But there won't be a sunset because it says polar day. Polar day. So the sun will just draw an 8, and come back. And it will be bright at night. Bold cormorants outside the window. They really brightened up my time. And we were also confirmed that there are terribly dangerous seagulls that can break the window in the hotel. There have already been such incidents. Therefore, under no circumstances should they be fed or tapped on the window, because they start pecking back and the window breaks. Hello, stranger. In general, I'll be spending a fun 2 days here. The port, on the right, is unloading coal, and there are some little ships standing here. I wonder if they found one that will sail from here. Although no, probably they are going with you somewhere to another port. Military. With us on the ship, I am again saying that same hello. I believe every blogger should have their own. They accepted the director, my opinion. Leader Jan Toplis, I like his content. He does it well. By the way, he arrived with a whole team of 4 people instead of 14 because of the space on the icebreaker. And so we arrived in Murmansk for a 2-day observation. What is observation? It's when you sit and wait for your test to show results so that everyone boarding the ship is completely healthy. There is a day in the water and food is delivered to your door. Look, this is my lunch. Let's take it. I actually didn't finish my breakfast. For breakfast, there's an apple, yogurt, banana, eggs, and sausages. After all, observation is like cream. Do you need cream for plums? Some kind of soup, salad, croissant, kebab, potatoes, and a delightful garden. Sitting in observation, by the way, isn't that boring? I have a lot to do. I haven't finished the presentation for the guys. I haven't completed 3 transformational sessions. This is where I will share my life experience with the guys and pass it on to them, roughly explaining what I did to reach this point, sitting in observation. They need to build their own lives, and what actions need to be taken to achieve the desired outcome. We received some cool merch, Knowledge Icebreaker 2022, that we want to wear even after the expedition. Someone just knocked and brought the merch. Look how cool it is. Who else flew by here? So, a cheeky bold seagull flew in. Look, it's peeking in. Well, you, of course, Laia, are so beautiful. What cute little paws you have. Let's continue the unboxing of the merch about beauties and icebreaker knowledge. I already know the cabin where I will live. I don't attach importance to the number 13, but I like cabin number 13. By the way, how do you feel about the number 13? To me, it's just as ordinary a number as 10, 12, 7, and so on. You, again, huh? Well, what do you want? So what do we have inside? A thermos? A thermos is never so unnecessary. So, what is this? Power bank. If I had known that I would get a power bank in the merch, which would prevent my camera from running out of battery, so I could film content for you. I have a giant suitcase there with so much stuff to keep from freezing, to have something to drink, to eat. But actually, I only need 1 glove, not 2. But I can share with a friend. Write to me. Who to send 1 red glove to? A cool notebook. You can never have too many. Yes. I was just dreaming of buying a fanny pack for the trip. By the way, how do you feel about fanny packs? Do you wear them, like them, need them or not? Yes, a lot of stuff can fit in. A power bank, you can put a camera in there and everything you need for shooting content and traveling. So what else? Ah, it's a fleece neck warmer to not freeze in the north. It's quite enough to not wear a hat. T-shirt, 1, and T-shirt 2. What is this? Yes, oh. It's a cool fleece jacket. These are patches I see. Northern, pole flashlight. This is art, baby. You can change it every day depending on your mood. Fit, size. Hey, I think I got the size wrong. I think it's too big. Shall we meet? Well, it's simple. Awesome. Why did I bring a whole suitcase of clothes? I packed my suitcase, a bag, with all emergency items that I might need. Put on some cool merch. Look at these cool patches. This is the North, baby. And we are about to head out to the very pedicle. What are you doing?
we did it! Spent 2 days to get here. Basically, you can't take photos there, you can't take photos here. You can only take photos here. Wow, amazing. Awesome! Look at the beauty behind me. Wow, a nuclear icebreaker! One of the 6 icebreakers that are operational. Let's touch the nuclear icebreaker. Look. Oh, you're so cool! When I was going through the control, before boarding the nuclear icebreaker, they greeted me like I was a superstar, because it was like this. He's coming! Yes, yes. Yes, yes, that's him.
Yes, he has bionic cyber arms.
Yes, he's coming. Let's let him through. Yes, yes, yes. Alexei.
That's all.
Welcome him. Yes, yes. Peter, I met a cuckoo. That's it. He's coming in. Yes, we see that suitcase. It's already going through the belt. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. There's no 4th hand. Where was it stated there are 4? Where's the 4th? Oh, it's on him, buddies. I boarded the icebreaker. For now, I don't understand what can be filmed, what can't be filmed, where you can go, where you can't go. But for now, I'm somewhere over here on the other side of the icebreaker. Trying to figure out what's allowed here.
Friends, I found out some news, it seems.
This helicopter pad is set up only for the duration of the cruise, so that there is a helicopter pad where you can hang out or receive helicopters. Otherwise, it's usually removed. And it's empty here. The sky is above you. Yes, the nuclear icebreaker 50 Years of Victory is the largest of the modern Arctic nuclear-powered ships. This icebreaker is a modernized project of the Arktika-class nuclear icebreakers. 2 icebreakers, Arktika and Yamal. Let's count the icebreakers. 1 icebreaker, 2 icebreakers, behind it, 3 icebreakers. Then I'm standing on the 4th, a total of 4 out of 6. 50 Years of Victory is not a tourist vessel. The icebreaker was built to escort research and cargo vessels through the Arctic and the Northern Sea route. Friends, it's 12 o'clock at night right now. Who would have guessed? And it's terrifying to end up overboard there because, well, you're definitely a goner. We're sailing at a speed of 18 knots. And over there, they're rotating the beacons to shine from behind. But there's no one behind us. There's no ice to break. As you can see, there's no ice. That's why we take tourists around in the summer. No, in winter we transport gas carriers, which carry gas. Only in the summer months do travelers have the unique opportunity to embark on a voyage to the northernmost point of the planet on a real working nuclear icebreaker. How much does such an expedition cost? $40,000. Not budget friendly. Agreed. The navigation signs on the icebreaker are in English and Chinese. From this, it's clear who the main tourists at the North Pole are.
Why is it called an expedition and not a cruise to the North Pole?
Well, it's very simple.
A Japanese tourist was settled into a cabin costing $40,000.
She bought herself a cruise to the North Pole. She was, an experienced cruiser. And she knows what cruise liners look like. And she started to complain that, this did not match her idea of a cruise at all and asked to be moved to a higher class. She was told that this was the captain's cabin and there is no higher class. Let's go find my cabin number 13.
Which cabin are you in?
In the 13th.
13th is on the 3rd. Come with me.
Which way? Probably this way. Yes, Vadim, the elevator was fine. Shh. 12. And 14. No. What's this? Bedroom. Oh, there's even a hairdryer here, guys. By the way, that's very important. My neighbor has already taken the most luxurious bed. Look, because it has a window. So you can pull the curtain and be alone. Now the toilet. Sink, toothpaste, toilet with an eternal atomic flush. Shower. Awesome! Since then, the cruise has turned into an expedition on a nuclear icebreaker. And if you want a cruise without the chance to watch the ice crumble before serving, then you can safely head to Le Commandant Charcot. I will tell you a little more about this liner later. Expedition sounds much cooler. Despite the fact that the nuclear icebreaker 50 Years of Victory was not originally intended for passenger use, guests are offered quite comfortable accommodations on board. Here Even though it's a bit old, it's so familiar. I had one like this, and it's what I started with back in the day.
We were invited to swim in salt water, heated by a nuclear reactor.
The salt water is taken directly from the side of the ship. Imagine swimming in the Arctic Ocean. It's very salty. It just keeps you afloat on its own.
There's no need to swim at the spot because it's pointless.
I've already done it.
I'm showing you the sauna on the icebreaker.
We are sailing, and you can enjoy the sauna.
The water flowing from this waterfall is heated in real time by the second compressor of the nuclear reactor.
They fed us with all sorts of things.
Our first experience on the icebreaker.
Let's see what they serve. They advised not to overindulge at the buffet, but to pay attention to the menu instead. What do they have here? Afternoon snacks. Just look at this delicious treat. Today is the third day. The ice has started, and all the food is just sliding around the table. You can have everything. It turned out that in the north, it's cooler to have a bed with canopies like mine rather than a regular one. You open these curtains like this and you have your own vibe, your own personal space. It was great sleeping on the icebreaker because it rattles, sways, lulls you, rocks you, and you just lie down and fall asleep immediately. And yesterday, they set the clocks back 2 hours from midnight. I don't know why, but everyone on board the icebreaker set their clocks back 2 hours.
So today everyone slept well. It's just amazing.
So, what is the icebreaker of knowledge? It's an educational expedition for high school students. A transformational trip after which the kids will leave the icebreaker completely different. They will know how to save the Arctic, which profession to choose, and why nuclear energy is the future in Arctic conditions.
Cheese.
Yay.
In this expedition, I was a transformation expert.
We will be taught how to stage correctly, how to write, instructions for ourselves properly, and how to work with them effectively.
I shared 3 motivational stories from my life and the experiences I gained both from them, and also conducted a masterclass on video and photography.
A life hack I caught in my life about the value of acquaintances, communication, and collaboration. Well, those who didn't raise their hand, believe me, after today's presentation, you can convey your mission through this audience that there are personal prosthetics and anyone without a hand can get one for free. The main thing is just to have the desire. And I thought that if my letter worked the first time, maybe it can be scaled. I even wrote to Jan Topless. Hello, Jan.
Hello, Samuel.
And you won't believe it. They respond.
No, he wrote to me.
Oh, although I wrote to him. For the guys, it's an opportunity to communicate and meet with the best speakers and transformers in their field. On our icebreaker, there were 66 children and 47 speakers. At any moment, you could approach and ask for advice, an expert opinion, or simply ask for support, like a hug. And also attend a DJing masterclass with Denis Simachev himself. Once I used to wear his jackets, hats, and t-shirts. Now I had the opportunity to talk to the maestro. The expedition takes place on one of the 6 nuclear icebreakers in the world. Today, it is the only nuclear-powered ship in the world that takes tourists to the North Pole. Only one country in the world has a nuclear icebreaker fleet: Russia. All the others are cruise liners that travel along the paths made by nuclear icebreakers. The main advantage of nuclear icebreakers is that they are autonomous. The icebreaker 50 Years of Victory can operate on a single fuel charge for a whole 5 years. Thanks to uranium rods, the nuclear reactor heats water, turning it into steam. The steam drives the generator turbines, producing electricity that powers the electric motors.
And the electric motors then rotate 3 propellers with a diameter ranging from 3 to 6 meters, with a total weight of over 60 tons.
And all this energy comes from 2 nuclear reactors on board the icebreaker, each with a capacity of 170 megawatts. The power of these 2 installations is enough to supply electricity to a city with a population of 2 million people. Friends, this is what the steering drive on a nuclear icebreaker looks like. This is what actually turns, so to speak, the blade that directs the icebreaker to the left or right. Back up. Generator.
It is mainly used during startup for establishing operational health.
This is what the steering wheel on an icebreaker looks like.
The thing is 15 centimeters there.
What if they explode? No. Nuclear reactors are reliably protected from accidents and external impacts. An icebreaker can, for example, withstand a direct hit to the reactor by a passenger plane or a collision with another icebreaker at speeds of up to 10 kilometers per hour. The thickness of the hull in the icebreaking areas is 5 centimeters. What does the most important part that cuts through all the ice on the icebreaker look like? Like this. I don't know what this is. I think it's steel. See, it's egg-shaped. This allows it to kind of lean on the ice and it breaks under the pressure of the weight. But the strength of the hull is not only due to the thickness of the plating, but also the large number and arrangement of frames. Plus, the icebreaker has a double bottom. So in the event of a breach, water definitely won't enter the ship. The most atmospheric place on the icebreaker. Just listen to that sound. That's really the ice making noise. Right now it's not very thick, but when it gets thicker, it will be much noisier here. And if you put your hand on the wall, you can feel the vibration. We're lost looking for the music salon, but can't find it. Now they're going to talk about how to evacuate from this vessel if necessary. Unfamiliar.
All right.
The lifeboat evacuation has started. Alarm. So what are we supposed to do here? Where do we run? They called. Indeed, they did. I think we need to go there. Service and passenger assembly. In each cabin, there is a sign with the number of your lifeboat, which you need to occupy in case of a lifeboat evacuation.
Please exit quickly. Everyone is downstairs.
Now we are descending to our lifeboat. We will receive instructions and we will meet our captain. 13th, come here. The task of the lifeboat is to stay in one place as much as possible and wait for help. This is a standby and simultaneously a rescue lifeboat. On board, there are 5 wetsuits, which can be used to rescue people who have fallen into the water, and a fire extinguisher. All seats are equipped with seat belts, oars, a small supply of water and provisions. And above is the place for the helmsman. The icebreaker 50 Years of Victory was built in 2007. The displacement is 25 tons. The length of the nuclear-powered ship is 159 meters, or about 35 cars. The width of the icebreaker is 30 meters. On board, there is a huge number of rooms, 1,300 rooms. That's roughly equivalent to 10 9-story buildings. The power of the icebreaker is 75,000 horsepower. That's 75 times more powerful than a racing car. The autonomy of navigation is 5 years. 6 months based on provisions. The crew consists of 138 people, and the passenger capacity is 128 people. I dressed like a bear for the North Pole to finally go out on the 3rd day and show you what's happening here. And here, beauty is happening. We've already reached it.
Well, that's it, my dear. Oh, my.
5 minutes. She's just very cold. Here are my hands. Over there is the Italian bridge, and we're sitting. Ouch. How awesome is this? So scary and awesome. If we're lucky, we might see a polar bear today, but that's not certain. Guys, we're lucky we see a bear. In the wild. The bear in the wild. Oh my God, I'm as happy as a child. Wow, how awesome. I'm tired.
See a white rainbow? It's there. It's a pity the camera doesn't capture it well, but with the eyes, it's incredible, of course. Here at the North Pole, there's a white rainbow. The earliest wake-up is at 5:30 in the morning. We reach the latitude of 90 degrees.
While you're getting ready or gathering, dress up and we'll invite you to the deck when it's a bit closer so you don't freeze there. So wait for the command. Once again, good morning. And of course, feel that in a few moments, you will be the northernmost people on Earth. Such luck is not granted to everyone, not even to polar explorers. So, congratulations on this. And wait for our further instructions.
The captain is trying to park on our ice floe. People 100 years ago died, spent their entire lives trying to reach the geographic pole of our Earth to visit this cap. And we did it. 5 days. 5!
The captain is looking for a suitable parking spot near a large ice floe so that everyone can disembark together. Sometimes it takes several hours to find a suitable large ice floe that won't crack under the weight of the icebreaker. Our captain found a suitable ice floe in about 2 hours. The Arctic staff are the first to disembark from the icebreaker to ensure the safety of the ice floe and that there are no polar bears on it. Do you see the person? He is guarding us from polar bears. The rifles have tranquilizers and rubber bullets to scare away the bears. The dose of tranquilizer is selected individually for each bear. If it has to be used, the icebreaker will not leave until the bear wakes up.
The bear is coming, well, probably about 100 meters. Away, you know, walking smoothly from behind the cables, we slowly gather and calmly head to the ship. We got onto the ship. It came up to the side, leaned on it, wandered around a bit. Everyone took pictures, and then it left. We launched the drone, basically, to see where it went, where it is now. It went behind the cables, lay down, and fell asleep. We were like, well, damn, it fell asleep, fine by us, let's go. We went and came out again. We finished the match, basically.
The children were the first to come out. Now they will take some cool photos at the North Pole. There's a sign over there around which you can make a round-the-world trip. In less than, it seems to me, 10 seconds you just walk around it and that's it. You've completed a round-the-world trip. Right now it's about -2 degrees and it's snowing. You can catch it with your mouth because they say the snow here is practically distilled water.
A highlight was also Jan Toplis' marriage proposal to Katya Odaricheva, and this is the northernmost marriage proposal. Jan Toplis proposed to his girlfriend Katya. The guys raised such bubbles at the North Pole, took pictures on them, and then when Katya was shown the photo, it said, "Say yes." And at that moment, Jan begins to propose. The captain comes out, officiates them, and they put on fur coats. In general, it was a really cool event, I think, for the entire icebreaker to witness such romantic gestures. I cry from the romance. So if you ever want to make a great proposal to your significant other, here's one option. Go to the North Pole. Well, the first cyber person with a cyber arm will also soon conquer the North Pole. So friends, a historic event. The first cyber person without an arm is now about to step onto the edge of the Earth. Look, it's about to happen. The first cyber with a cyber arm at the North. Look at the North Pole. Well, friends, welcome to the very top of the world. Our planet, to its cap, the North Pole. I always thought that at the North Pole it must be extremely cold, because there's a saying, are you dressed like you're going to the North Pole or something? But here, in the summer, it's around -2, -5 at most. This is the very northernmost point, the very northernmost cyborg with a cyber arm. I am definitely the first cyber person at the North Pole. So let's mark this small yet significant victory for me. I would appreciate it. Now there will be a historic event, the raising of the cyber flag at the North Pole. Cyborgs have reached the North. Everyone, we have conquered the North. Look, I'm stomping on the North Pole, on the ice floe, with your boots. You'll never throw these boots away now. The map doesn't end here. Although, of course, we can't see beyond the storm. What's ahead? Maybe it really hasn't loaded. Maybe there really is the end of the world, the end of the Earth. But I will tell you no, because no matter how far we sailed, there was always something. And here is the northernmost exhibition. At 90 degrees, you can swim in the ocean. The water temperature is -2 degrees. Everyone who wants to swim is secured with a rope so they don't drift away. And afterwards, they are greeted with vodka. Jesus is going to take a dip. How is it? Good. Refreshing. What do you think? First, they tie you up. It's a drama. The first one's climbed in, and then woo-hoo. So, tonic, believe me, some kind of... Let's go. To the rope that everyone is messing with. We are treading on the North Pole, but we are not afraid. And also notice how blue the water is. Damn, the camera doesn't capture it. It's really from very blue, really blue. So Vanya, well, the historic moment has come. I have tread on the North Pole with your boots, and now I will leave a part of you here. Stretch out. Here it is. Here it is. And here it is. That's it. You will now remain on the North Pole as a piece of DNA. Then, billions of years later, someone will find it, clone it, and make a new Ivan. Silence. Do you know what silence sounds like? At the North Pole, you can hear the snow falling. By the way, the snow is so pure that you can eat it like ice cream. It's practically a distillate. The coolest thing is that the snow here is so pure, it's practically distilled water, and you can eat it like ice cream. Remember when you were told as a child not to eat snow? Actually, you can. If it's from the North Pole. Yeah. Woohoo. Jan, did your mom tell you not to eat snow when you were a kid? Well, kind of, yes. But look, here you can. That's it. I've conquered the North. Done. The next destination I want is Yellowstone. Who ordered Yandex? Taxi? It's here. That's all. That's it. We're leaving. So did we manage to make it from the North Pole? It's all over. We're heading back to the icebreaker to continue our journey. Everything that is brought to the north is taken back to the mainland. The North Pole is a protected area of the Arctic, and nothing can be left here, except for the white snow and the emotions experienced. Now look at how a person has traversed everything, here with their activities. There are 100 of us on the ship, just for a moment.
And we wore out absolutely everything here. A wise man won't climb the mountain. A wise man will go around it. No denying. Well, in the evening, after conquering the North Pole, we had a real barbecue right on the deck of the nuclear icebreaker. We set up a special icebreaker to make a grill for us. Picnic. With such a magnificent view. And they are preparing sausages, lamb chops for us. Steaks, baked apples, mulled wine. Damn, and we are just chilling. Damn, pure bliss. Magic milk on the bench, match spark. And we say goodbye. To the North Pole, it was a wonderful 3 hours, and we moved further south to Franz Josef Land. Perhaps the most unexpected encounter was with the French cruise liner Le Commandant Charcot, which was heading to the North Pole, along the path we had laid. All the guys ran to meet the future conquerors of the North, waving flags while the captain started, competing with their horns. And we went out to meet the French vessel. Whose horn is louder? Our horn is the most horn-like horn. It's a small one. This moment personally moved me to tears because you don't often meet people at the North Pole. I am digging. Materio, what did you return with? I'm even afraid to imagine what they thought of us there, because imagine they are traveling on their luxurious French liner. They meet a red nuclear icebreaker, all the children in red waving flags, and then they start singing themselves the Russian anthem. And the captain persistently sounds the horn for several minutes without a break. I think the French were shocked by this. In general, it was a touching meeting in the Arctic Ocean, fragments of land from two completely different countries. One of the kids even remembered to say bonjour, and of course, I sang a song to the French. Also on board with us was the traveler and honorary polar explorer of Russia, Viktor Boyarsky, who woke us up every morning by telling us about the Arctic, its facts, and the place we were currently passing through. At some point, even the children got so used to his morning voice that they asked to record it separately, as an alarm tone in the end.
With thoughts, the remarkable Usif of France. Even through the descending fog, almost half of the warm summer is clearly visible ahead. I would decide, and friends, that they saw him meeting someone because you don't know now, and you don't know now, and you don't know now. And one can confidently say to oneself that he doesn't know what it is at all. And I would like him to become a very good person, and I would like him to become a very good person. Look a little at the snake. I'll tell her that it's quieter from this song. By the way, this song has won prize places at the contest, Sugar, Art Vision of those years. And we are not afraid of the ninth wave, nor the cold, eternal blizzard. After all, we are guys, yes, we are guys, from the 90s. Exactly the 90s. That's it, that's the one that goes bam, bam, bam. It all lasted up to the North Pole, wider than this latitude. It doesn't exist, and I think it's definitely a feast. It will find its reflection in the breadth of your views, adding a little, which will allow you to pour more. An emerging recurring problem. Today is the final day for the completion of all projects, so I wish you successful work. Once again, good morning. The temperature is plus 10 degrees with a breeze, and an east wind of only 7 meters per second. Good morning. An emerging recurring problem.
I had always dreamed of seeing a 30-meter glacier, but unfortunately, the fog didn't allow us to do that, and we just sailed past it. However, we successfully saw mini icebergs. And suddenly, can you imagine, an iceberg appears out of the fog.
Please be extremely careful. Iceberg ahead. We're about to hit it, so please be cautious.
And that's absolutely the most I can tell you.
Oh my God. The guys lost a lot, didn't they? I least expected that I would crash into authority.
And go ahead.
You all... Everything that was once yours, every single item and possession you held dear is now fully and completely mine under my absolute possession and control, leaving nothing behind that still belongs to you. Life. So here we were. Now we smoothly move to Franz Josef Land. Tomorrow morning we will sail here. By midnight, the fog had cleared, and we reached the bird bazaar Ruby Rock, with thousands of birds that seasonally nest on the archipelago.
Gulls and guillemots predominantly.
The latter, by the way, are trying to become aquatic, so they take off from the water so awkwardly and paddle with their wings, as if they were steamships. The polar day, damn, slightly deceives the body and allows you to stay awake indefinitely.
And to admire this beauty even at 3 in the morning.
Look, the ice floe has risen. Rose at 2 in the morning. In short, I can't comprehend that there is no dark time of day here at all, because my unrested mind simply cannot grasp it. Of course, I closed the curtains, but I really want it to be night. In the lands of Franz Josef, in the Tikaya Bay, lies the first station Conquerors of the North, which is now an open-air museum. The station looks a bit creepy and resembles more of an abandoned town with ruined wind turbines.
Since this is the Arctic and there are no bacteria or insects that eat wood, the wooden houses remain virtually eternal.
Does one get seasick on the icebreaker? Well, generally no. On the 6th day, I started to feel seasick when the ice disappeared and we entered the open sea. Here I am walking down the corridors, and they just sway. And my brain sways along with them, and I'm not the only one who feels nauseous to the point of vomiting. Now, for the first time, I'm going to take a seasickness pill. We are almost back.
Tomorrow at 11, we will be in Murmansk, and that means I will soon return to my life.
Returning, especially if the expedition was successful, believe me. During the expedition, the guys worked on their art science projects. They filmed science popularization videos, improved their skills, and interacted with each other and other experts. Oh. Listen, you know, it's amazing. We did exactly what we planned on. All the dates. This is probably the most deadline-compliant project in my life. Almost everything was planned to the minute on shore, and it happened exactly as it was supposed to. It's just unbelievable. In the last days, we all became friends, and it was sad to realize that soon we would all part ways. The kids actually brought me to tears. At the final event, when they started pinning ribbons on me and saying warm words about how my example motivates them, what a strong person I am. Here, everyone experiences a collective catharsis. Everyone hugs, ties ribbons, and cries. They will remind us of our days here on the icebreaker. It's a crime. The kids brought me to tears, not just by tying ribbons, but with their wonderful warm words. Damn, it's so awesome. It's just unbelievably awesome. If you're watching this now and have watched this video to the end, guys, you need to go on the Knowledge Icebreaker, participate in the contest, apply, enhance your minds, learn new things, and you'll have the opportunity to see the North Pole and interact with amazing speakers, transformers, and facilitators. With that, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. All the links to the Knowledge Icebreaker contest will be below the video. Apply, go through the selection rounds, and embark on the journey of a lifetime. And we'll see you in the bright cyber future. This was Ilia Cyborg with you. Bye-bye. And by the way, if you haven't watched the video till the end, don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Now, really goodbye. I'm back. How awesome.
I think I'll be reliving these emotions for a few more months. Until I sort through all my stories and all the videos, all the photos.
Of course, it was an incredible journey. Would I like to repeat something like that?
Yes, but at least to go during the polar nights. I want to see what it's like when it's night. Night, 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 all the time. I've already seen 10 days of daylight. It's certainly an unforgettable experience when the sun constantly makes a figure 8 and never sets, and you have no concept of twilight. By the 10th day, you just dream of seeing the night, sunset, sunrise, the moon, but it's not there, and not there, and not there.